All right, welcome everybody. I'm Lucian Fogoras, and today we're talking about one of the largest manufacturing show in the North American continent, if not the largest, the IMTS Hannover Messe show. And joining us today is Brett, the Sales Director, Hannover Fair USA. Welcome, Brett.
How you doing, Lucian? Nice to sit down with you.
Great to see you again. Now, we've met in Germany early June during the Hannover Messe. Now, that's the largest industrial show in the world where the reputation is people gets business.
Yes.
What was your feedback on the exhibitors after that edition?
You know, it's interesting. I went back to reread our first press release right after the show. And what we stated there was Hannover Messe, perfect moment for a comeback event. And what our exhibitors were telling us is that they didn't know what they were going to expect, because it was the first event coming back from COVID, and they were pleasantly surprised with everything. Obviously, the event has been around for a long time and always has delivered a quality event, but nobody really knew what to expect. And Hannover Messe and my parent company, Deutsche Messe, once again delivered a quality event. And we see this by just the response of the exhibitors. Every exhibitor has said they are going to be returning for 2023. And we already have over 500,000 square feet sold.
Awesome. Awesome.
And if you want to put that in square meters, about 56,000 square meters.
Got it. Thanks for that. Look forward to that. I've always been looking for my entire career, and the organizations that I've worked, they line up their press releases for global with the Hannover Messe German show. Now, one of the questions, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And one of the things I wanted to mention too is, that show also drove a lot of interest in Hannover Messe USA. So not only were they happy with that show, I got a lot of inquiries and a lot of new exhibitors that signed up for Hannover Messe USA.
Got it. Yeah, thanks for that. And I know as we were doing the wrap up of the show right from Germany with the Industry 4.0 Club, one of the co-founders had asked the question, do in-person trade shows still justify the ROI? So I'd be curious, how would you answer that question? And then we go from there.
Sure. Well, I mean, I say, of course they do. Buyers and sellers have been getting together since medieval times in Europe with trade fairs. And that's where the modern trade show has come from. And trade shows continue to bring those buyers and sellers together by providing a meeting place for their industry. And with Hannover Messe USA, like we said, it's the largest gathering of manufacturers in North America, the largest gathering of that industry. And it's a place where they can not only sell products and solutions, but to network and to learn. A lot of education going on as well. I look at this as it can't be more evident than after COVID. What we're seeing is trade shows making a very good, strong comeback, saying that, yes, they're still relevant. And if they weren't going to be, there was going to be an issue right after COVID. I mean, it was a kind of a time where they could cut things off. But what we're seeing is people continuing to move on and really wanting and needing to be face-to-face. With their customers and their vendors. I also see this with, companies like Nokia and Amazon, who were both at Hannover Messe. They, after Hannover Messe, came to me and doubled their space at Hannover Messe USA. So two large companies saying, hey, trade shows do work and we want to continue the momentum.
Great to see that appetite, and indeed, I was in both of them, both of the companies' booth, and a lot of excitement, and look forward to see them in Chicago as well. And not just that, but I think manufacturing in America seems to be gaining momentum, not only from the trade show spending, but also investments that's going into companies that with innovative solutions. Several unicorns in that space, whether from industrial cybersecurity to analytics, and there, it looks like it's an excellent opportunity for decision makers in the manufacturing sector to meet many different technology vendors. So maybe if you want to comment a little bit on what's new this year at Hannover Messe USA IMTS this year, and why should people join?
Sure. So if you take both events and combine them, there's nearly 2,500 exhibiting companies. And most of them are offering new products and solutions, or their latest version of their current offerings. And we have a large number of returning exhibitors, but there's a large number of new exhibitors at the show. At Hannover Messe USA, one area that had never really been focused on was industrial 5G. Industrial 5G is going to be a very big focus at Hannover Messe USA. We have a number of organizations like 5G ACIA, or as they would say in Germany, 5G SIA, and other associations like Multi-Fire Alliance, MFA, who are participating at the show with exhibits, as well as within the educational aspect as well. There will actually be 2 live private 5G networks being demonstrated on the show floor at 5G ACIA's booth. So that's an exciting opportunity to see that. And there's a lot of manufacturers out there that have a lot of questions of what that's going to be and how that's going to help them. And Hannover Messe USA, with their exhibitors and the education opportunities that are offering, hopefully we'll be able to provide answers for those companies.
Yeah, glad to see that 5G getting focused in the manufacturing, because I took one of the key takeaways was in Germany, the arena for 5G was not there. So it seemed like they moved to more regionalized, like Siemens had a 5G set up within the Hannover Germany and some other companies, but they were not within the arena. But glad to see the Hannover Messe USA is bringing that sort of focus within North America and Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, some of the exhibitors offering industrial IoT products, which were our community of 300,000 people are focusing on, maybe if you want to mention a few names and what are some of the services during the show?
So they're offering so many different services and products. And let me just kind of give you some names of those exhibitors that are going to be there. And excuse me, I'm going to read these names. Sure. I can give you some off the top of my head, but you're starting with Amazon Web Services, with a number of partners in their booth. Not as large as what they offered in Hannover Messe, but we're excited with their large presence on the show floor. We have companies like Lido, Bailiff, Beckhoff, Fujitsu North America, Highbite, Litmus, Motorola Solutions, Relayer, Endowance, and Endowance is bringing one of their partners, Sensei, and companies like, I think I mentioned Litmus and Telit as well.
Yeah, and I know one of our customers, Hitachi Ventura, will be there as part of the Hitachi group.
Yes, and that will be also on the IMTS side. Yes.
Great, yeah. And from the educational perspective, earlier on you referenced there are several sessions on that. Maybe what are some of the subjects covered in that portion?
Sure. Let me tell you about that. And that's also kind of new as well. What we've done is we've rebranded our our educational programming as the Hannover Messe USA conference. So we have this paid conference as well as the Solutions Theater. These two offerings provide over 90 educational sessions throughout the week. Within the Hannover Messe USA conference, we have a couple of interesting sessions, kind of, just a couple of focusing, say, on iIOT. So on Monday, we have Tom Nauer, who's the Global Industry Manager for Factory Automation from Bailiff. He'll be presenting a session on implementing iIoT solutions for robots using sensor level protocols. Also on Monday, you have Simon Serena, and I'm going to, excuse me if I mispronounce his name. He's the head of project management, IE and SAI for Weidmuller interface. He's presenting a session, single pair Ethernet, the standard for industrial Internet of Things.
Got it. So a number of the traditional industrial automation players, they are repositioning, focusing on industrial Internet of Things. So it's great to see.
Yes, yeah, and you will see that. And if you just go to the website and Google, under exhibitors and Google or do a search for iIoT or just IoT, you're going to see that those traditional companies that are offering more on the IIoT side. The other program that we have is the Solutions Theater. The Solutions Theater is on the show floor, and those sessions are all free for the attendees to attend. And in 2018, I think we had only 2 or 3 days. There are 5 days of sessions. And the Solutions Theater is powered by the Smart Factory Institute of Tennessee. And it's a US subsidiary of our technology company, Technology Academy in Hanover. So Deutsche Messe's Technology Academy. So, and this is the first one that Deutsche Messe is doing in the US.
Got it. Is there anything for startups there to take advantage of or to be part of? Now there's 4 or 5 weeks left before the show.
Well, I mean, startup manufacturers
or vendors within that area that provide a service to that or solves a problem for manufacturers. You mentioned industrial IoT. There's several hundreds of this platform that solve different problems for different companies. I'm just curious if is a program or something along those lines.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, that's probably somewhere I could probably look into a little bit more, but I don't believe I could talk to that directly at this time. But in regard to the solutions that are being offered, these startups can come to the show, and we do have some new companies that are there at the show and are fairly new.
Yeah, you mentioned Litmus, that they're a startup, for instance.
Yeah, and exactly. And then and Litmus was in Hannover Messe in the equivalent of 200 square feet. And just recently, only a few weeks ago, they had made the decision to double their space as well at Hannover Messe.
Good. And I saw another startup, HiveMQ, for instance, they are also going to be there. So there's a number of them. I just, that's where I was connecting the dots there. Yeah.
Yeah. And they just signed up last week. I think last Monday. So so they'll be there. And then, you have companies like Drishti as well. So there's a number of companies, Tulip, ServiceNow. So the technology companies are present at the show and have a lot to offer everybody. So with the Solutions Theater, you're going to have tracks that cover things like advanced connectivity, data-driven intelligence, human/machine integration, advanced production methods, and like smart workers and managers. One session will be done by Doug Bellin, who's the Vice President for Amazon Web Services. And he's going to present smart manufacturing in the cloud. I mean, basically what Amazon is offering with their partners and how they're going to be showcasing what can be done through a single platform like Amazon.
Yeah, that should be exciting. Look forward to that. Now, if you were to fast forward, you're in the first meeting, the lessons learned from the show, or what are some of the success metrics? What defines success of this show from your perspective?
So for us as an organizer, this is kind of both anecdotal and quantitative, but we measure success of the show by customer satisfaction. And when we talk about customer satisfaction, we look at both sides. Even though I am the sales director for the exhibition, the exhibitors are not just my customers. Our other customer are the attendees. And we want to make sure that we're delivering enough for both sides, for both set of customers. So for the exhibitors, are we delivering the right attendees? Not so much the quantity of attendees, but the right attendees, and quantity too. But it has to be that right person. You're not going to put a manufacturing show up and deliver people from the food service industry unless they're manufacturing. So you want to make sure that those attendees are the right people. On the attendee side, we wanted to make sure that the attendees have enough content for them to come to the show and to return to the show. So are they satisfied with the number of exhibitors, who the exhibitors are, the products and services and solutions those exhibitors are offering, as well as, was there enough networking opportunities? Was there enough educational content? So, that customer satisfaction is how we always measure how successful an event will be.
Thank you so much, Brett. And if you're in the audience, you have questions, feel free to leverage the hashtag that you see displayed there and be happy to answer. And I know as IoT World, we have several people broadcasting from the McCormick place, as well as prior to that, and reaching out to several of our partners, from the Machine Metrics to Litmus to HiveMQ and Hitachi Ventura, among others, to that at least we have on a target to have talks with. So thank you, Brett.
And please, we look forward to seeing everybody at Hannover Messe USA. You can still register to attend the show. Just go to HannoverMesseUSA.com. There's registration for show only, as well as some combined opportunities for the paid conference. But also remember, we have a large number of free sessions on our show floor as well.
Thank you, and see you all in Chicago.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much, Lucian.